Hello everyone, how good of you to join. Welcome back to Sleepy Hollow. Now in this episode we have quite a lot of work ahead of us, so let's get cracking right away. The first thing is that we have a pretty high demand for residential zones. Now you can just tell me that I should expand in this area, but I'm not going to do this. We do have some low commercials and low density residents still living here in the town center, and I would like to, unfortunately get rid of them now since they really don't fit into this whole area anymore. This is really dense city center area, right? So I'm just going to get rid of these guys here, and instead we're going to have high residents living here. The cool thing is, at the same space, at the same amount of space, right, you can just squeeze in way more people, and also it pays more taxes. In this case here, that's another high density one. Now we do have some commercials around that, so I think that just here I'm going to have a smaller commercial area than two, right? So just this tiny bit there for anyone that likes to purchase stuff close by. Also for all the students, of course, since we have lots of students here in the town center. So I'm just going ahead and do this. Now we do have this whole area here still that I don't like so much anymore. Let's just check this one out. This is all residents still here, right? This is a high traffic area. Not the best idea to have residents living in this area. It also doesn't look very good anymore. So I'm just going to get rid of them. Actually, I'm going to get rid of this whole area there. So this one and these guys here, unfortunately, will also have to pass away. And, oh, not in the traditional sense, of course, passing away and stuff. Let's just get rid of all of this here. So we are going to remodel that. And I think we can also do the same thing with those guys here. The same goes with the commercials. So I'm just painting them away, literally. Also these guys here. And boom, we have all of a sudden lots of space available in this area where I can just have my go now, right? So we do have the inner circle there. By the way, these guys, are they moving? Yes, they're moving away. Perfect. That's it. They're still standing there. Whoop-de-doo. I should be careful if I delete something, that I'm not deleting the wrong things. Have that street there again. And now we have all this space with lots of cars that are parking here. I guess these are the guys that were living here. And all of a sudden they don't have anything in this area anymore, right? So we are going to change this now. It's a pretty cool area actually, looking like that. Now we got lots of these corners here that I would like to fill, kind of like, and I do have the right amount of landmark buildings for that. Down here we have them, the Chicago corner buildings, this one and this one, and let's just loft them. Let's place this one, 2,500. It actually increases land value of the surrounding area, so that's a cool thing. And we can now take this one. It does, of course, require a street connection, and we can take it like that and just squeeze it into this area. Hopefully that it's working out. There you go. Perhaps a tiny bit back again so people can actually walk on the pavements left and right, and this is looking much better already. There's a bit of green area now. Now this is looking like something. As we can see, people can walk around here, and also cars can still park right next to this one. That is one of them. We do have a second one that I could have then just over there in this corner here. This I think is going to look quite nice. Let's just have this one here at that corner there. It's a tricky, very finicky work. There you go. I think this is looking... there's still a bit of too much grass. There you go. I think this is... Yep, this is the one. Perfect. There we got those two buildings now. In this corner street that we have just beside the park. That park here, by the way, we don't need that power line there anymore. No idea. It just doesn't fit into that. And it should do what? Increase the land value. Holy cow, we got the highest level in this area now that is available. It's also, of course, because of the anchor gardens that we have right next to it, but I think also because we have these beautiful buildings in there now. Of course, we can build them as many times as we want. We can just squeeze them into in other areas. I do have quite a lot of these guys here too. So these interesting buildings that we can then use later on. Now, for the residentials and commercial zones. First of all, we do have still... Oh, that's a fire station here that we have, and there's still some commercial. Let's just get rid of that. And this is an entrance area for the city, right? I don't like to have residents here because it's a loud area. It's not something where people really should be. We're starting ahead here with some commercials right here in the center. So just these buildings there. Also on the other side, most likely. So like that. There you go. Then we have probably some office buildings here. right? What I can see right away here is that since we have a bit of space there, I would probably like to have a little garden path or something like that that goes from one side, so basically like that, and then it goes through this whole area there, right, with some trees to the other side. Let's not make it snap so much. There you go, right, so that we have a nice little connection. Then this is not really looking great. Let's try this one again without the snapping. There you go, much better now. And then we have on the left and right, we have these buildings here. There's perhaps also some commercial once again, right? Then we got some commercials here. And for this one, a mix between the two of them, right? So that one. And actually, let's make some residents here as well, since we just do have that amount of land value here. And this one, I hope it's connecting then with that corner building. And the same thing we could do here, right? So like that, and then also some office area here once more, and then some high density commercials as we see. So we're just going ahead and we'll just see how it looks then at the end of it, right? There we can still squeeze in some office buildings, and that's really it. Here at the side, let's have some commercials there once more for that area. There you go, perfect. And then some offices most likely for this whole corner there. There you go. I don't even know if there's actually office buildings that small. We're just going to see that. I don't think so right now, but we're going to see that if it's working out. And then we have these areas there. Basically, this is all really just high density commercial, because there's just so much traffic here, and it's pretty loud overall. I mean, we can check this one anyway, right? So let's just have a look at the noise pollution, and there you see especially this corner here, but this whole area in general has just a high noise pollution. That's of course because of all the traffic here and the industry, which is going to be moved to offices anyway at some point. But for now, let's just keep this one kind of like as a shopping area where people can go and have some shopping they can do. Really just basically like that, mixed in with some offices in between, and we'll just see if this is actually working out there. Right, so I think for these tiny spots there will not be office buildings available, and this one and these empty spots we can then push something in if we want to. Right, as we can see, they already pop up there. Of course, we got some green area here where we can squeeze in some trees, and then we got this whole inner area there that I'm going to keep like that for now. And this is probably really just some buffer zone, right? So some buffer zone between my city and whatever comes next then, so something like that, because there's really just high noise pollution overall. That should be fine. We're just going to wait it out now, so it's going to take a while, of course, before anything happens there. Here we still have our lower residents now, and let's just get rid of them, basically of this whole area there. Yeah, let's just make all of this here high density residents. This is a quieter area once more. There's a school right next to it. This will be working fine for us. Some students can live here, right? Because there's the university, and then right next to the park there. So that's just really beautiful area where you can definitely live properly in the city. That's it, right? And then we got these areas here still that I can also just get rid of like that. Now, I'm not going to overdo it now with every single block that we have, because this could turn out nasty, because I will definitely miss something along the way. So we're just gradually doing this, gradually upgrading the city like that, right? So there's another high density now. We're going to keep the low density here for now, and later on we might then move the high densities further to that. With that, we also solved our demand problem there a bit, as lots of space is now available once more for all of these buildings here. And we'll just see how skyscrapers really look then in these curvy roads there at the beginning, how natural this looks. I have no idea yet, but we can see the density is increasing now in the city core, which is the important thing. Next project would be this area and this area here, then most likely, especially once we have then our central station. We definitely will want to have then some higher densities over that. Now, next thing that we need to do is this area. We need to completely redo this one, unfortunately. Traffic is going to increase as we gradually expand our city. So I would like to have my highway going in here now, right? So the highway, and then having a big roundabout in this area where people can then go this way, down to the south, or coming from the highway, right? And this whole junction there is going away naturally now. The first thing I'm going to do with that is I'm going to move my farm building, and we are going to, let's just have me look at that. How does it look right now? My industry area. At the moment we have it in this block there. We are going to expand this one now along the highway up here. There's still the fertile area here, right? So we are just going to paint it over it, like so. And then probably ending it here with the rocky area that we have, right? So something like that. This is the valley agricultural area now. Kind of like a buffer between the highway up there and the city that comes then. I'm not going to use all the fertile area here for farming though. That would be a bit over the top, I think. There is now the power problem. I mean, I'm going to redo this now anyway, but for the sake of it, let's just have the connection working. Right, so they can still work normally. I don't know. I mean, I think profit was pretty high, around 4,000 there at some point. So we're only going to increase on that. We have the flour mills here. We have the farms and the fields. The fields I'm going to expand. Now we're just going to have my... Is this the one? Yep, this is the one with the trees. So we're going to have this country road that we have there. That then kind of like naturally goes over there to the highway, right? Let's just try to stay within the fertile area, as this one is going to be beautiful country road, right? There you go. It's also going to look really nice then with all the trees that we are continuing to plant there, of course, right? So this one, and then we have another junction here, most likely. Let's make this one snap a bit. There you go, so that we have a nice little industry area then as well. And we're basically going to have some fields and farms, and then the industry more or less here in this area where I have the fields right now. So I'm going to move these crop fields then, right? So they're in this area for now, and we're just going to move them over like so, making new big fields then just here. For that I will need a road then here, so we can then squeeze in these fields here. So there would be one, there's the next one, perfect. I've got two more, I think. Yep, this one and this one. I guess I will need to do it like so. Perfect, there you go. There we have this whole block, and we can then just continue with these fields. Right, so up here there would be another block, for example. So I really want to expand my farming industry now into something dense and proper looking. Let's just see that we have that one continues all the way here. Right, there's a little space available now that we can use in this area. By the way, we could also use the smaller country road there without the trees, and then the really tiny one further outside. But I don't like this so much. I'd rather have my one with the trees. This is just looking so much better. And then we have and then we can really go for fields directly, right? So we have the medium crop fields available now too, and we can just go crazy on them, really, right? This is all dense farming area. It's all going to be made for this, right? So of course with the curvy roads, we're having a bit of problem here with the clipping, so I'm trying to make this one as... Yep, it can definitely overlap there as well. I don't think the game bugs out because of that. And this is fine too. Then we have the road, and we have those fields along the road then. Yeah, a few more pipes along the way, so those guys have waters. Who would have thought that fields need water after all? There you go. This is a new farming area, and as we can see, we got lots of space here now. We can really make all of this into big fields. So we got these crop fields. I really don't like the overlay, by the way. We have the animal pastures. Of course, we should keep this one together. That kind of like, so here we have crops already, and then we're just going to have more crop fields here. This is 10,000 each. We have the money, so let's just squeeze them in. Let's move this one a bit further down here, right? So this is all one giant area then, and then we have more crop fields, and then we have a bit of empty space in between where we could, of course, get some beautiful big autumn trees into that. I don't find any big autumn trees here right now for me. That's looking okay. So that we get a few to fill in the void there. But this is just a nice, tiny, quiet area for now. Of course, it's only going to increase once more people move in. All of them here now produce potatoes. Not the best thing. Let's make this one into wheat, right? So I definitely want to keep them a bit close together so that it does look organized. Then we have the potatoes there, no problem. And here it's a bit mixed. Corn, potatoes, stuff like that is produced here. Very nice, really. And along the highway, I'm going ahead and I'm just going to squeeze in some of my trees here, right? So this is kind of like a buffer zone there as we then move gradually into that farming area. Of course, we might have fields here then too at some point, and probably another highway exit much later down the road on that side once it's needed. So this is coming along, right? This one needs to go away still, so I have now a bit of space that I would like to use in this area, and that is then basically going to be brick roads, I guess, right? Yep, we could do it like that. I'm going away with the country roads here because we don't need them in this area. This is going to be industry, processing industry for my farming area. We still have these animal pastures. Let's move them a bit further now here. There you go. What also makes sense is that we have those silos in this area now as well. And then I would just like to go ahead and upgrade that as well. So that's going to be processing, and that's going to be the farming area then, right? And now we can just take these flour mills, for example, and move them. Hopefully we can move them correctly. So there's number one. Perfect. And number two just fit together. And since I'm going to have quite a few of these flour mills, we can really use this whole block there. This is going to be a block of flour mills with that road. We can still squeeze another one into this area, right? As we continue then along the road. Now, this is turning out nicely. I like how the farming area... This is now a large-scale farming area that we're planning here. No longer is this going to be just some tiny outlet right at the edge of my city, but this is really high density. Then we've got the bakery. I'm probably going to have a few of these. Let's just place the first one then here as well. And this is just generic industry that I'm going to get rid of. Right? We don't need that anymore. Then we got those barns and stuff like that. That should be up here, of course, where we have then also the fields and stuff like that. So just a tiny few of them. Another silo. And another silo over there. Power-wise, yep, this is now an island. Not be an island anymore. This is a normal field, right? Yes, we don't need that. Now I can have my final power pole, power cable, through the forest right into the farming area where no one sees it. We can get rid of that here once more. We should have power now, do we? Yes, there's the power. Very good. The major farm building, the main building, let's move this a bit further outside. Right, it looks like it's green and stuff like that, or low density, so it can stay out here in the wilderness that we can have there. I still have a few more fruit fields. For that, let's just check this one out. We have one farm. Of course, these country roads, they don't really have high capacity, right? So I need to be careful about the amount of stuff that I'm squeezing into them. They're all full silos. We will need to think about something here then. And then I've got my fruit fields, and we can basically use this area now where I'm going to stack them together. That is some potato fields there again. This I can use on that side. That's actually the farming area for the animals. I have this a bit further up there. Potatoes, I already have some potato fields here. So there we can use it. This is actually there needs to be a bigger one then. That's okay. We still have 700,000. I didn't spend so much there after all. Perfect. This one, let's get rid of that for now. Right, so the whole farming area is more or less popping up in this area. Do we have any new buildings, by the way, that I could use? We have the milking parlor. We have the cattle shed. This one is, yeah, close to my animals. Would be possible. Having a cattle shed. I think for processing buildings we don't have that much. We have the milking parlor, right? We have the cattles here, so let's just have two of them here. They do need milk. And I do have my Highland cows, and I just have a couple more of them. So these are the animal shelters, I wanted to say animal fields here. A couple more of them just in that area, right? island cows, pigs, normal cows, and with that we've leveled up to 4. Clothing factory, large barns, and the slaughterhouse is available now. Let's have some normal cows here. Right. This one too. And actually, let's use the slaughterhouse right away as well. And there it is, slaughterhouse. Oh, it's pretty big. Let's have it over there, 20,000 for now. Right, in this area there. Yep, the animals can get there quickly, and then we still have it a bit further away. I definitely don't want to have my slaughterhouse close to my to my city, to my residence. And there's the first animals being transported to poor sods. Alright, so that's that. It's working already. It's almost full already when it comes to the income. There's not enough workers at the moment though. Right, so that's Spruce Hills. Spruce Hills we can actually get rid of. There's also some garbage now accumulating the bigger this gets. So what I would like to have here too is a little recycling plant that we can have. Recycling center. Let's make this one a normal one, right? It's close to the slaughterhouse over there. Right here in this whole center. So this is tending to the farms and productions and factories here right away. But of course it also takes the garbage from the other industry areas as well. Ooh, that was a lot of relocation here. We can still go ahead and have some additional pipes along the field roads and here as well. There you go. And this is starting to only grow from now on, by the way. Yep, so we can now totally expand on it. It's at a level 4 one now, and I'm expecting here that profit is only increasing as we continue with this whole area. Meanwhile, for some reasons, traffic completely collapsed here now after the remodeling, after the relocation of a lot of buildings. As we can see, it's a total standstill in this area now. Let's just check what's going on so we can open up our traffic routes. For the junctions, nope, for the routes, really. I'm ticking the trucks and the... No, actually, trucks we don't need. As we can see, trucks is rather clear, right? It's the main road and that's it. That's the route for trucks, so they use it normally. But what's going on here is the private vehicles that is completely crashing here. So there is something. They are going into the roundabout, out again, and want to enter here then into these areas and coming back vice versa. I think this is just in general extremely problematic right now, so we do need to solve this. So one problem that I can see here right away is that this road kind of like functions as a roundabout. So people take this one and want to get up there, and people coming from here take it going back again, and this leads to a standstill that we have there. It was to be expected that something like this happens at this point because it might look pretty, especially in small cities, right? But right now it's not serving a true purpose anymore. So I'm just going to try solve it by making this one here a one-way street only, and it's a one-way street up, right? So it should serve this road there. There is some flow now already starting to appear again, and we're doing the same thing here, and this one is also going up there. So we're kind of like breaking the cycle there. We're breaking this one being a roundabout essentially, which we don't want to have here in this area. Absolutely not. Another thing that we can do in this junction there is I'm going to get rid of the traffic lights, right? And we're going to make this one here the priority, and this one is a stop. So they really just have to wait until they get out. This is a tiny road, and it should only serve for these buildings there, and that's it. So I'm not expecting any traffic there then anymore, as it's much faster to use the roundabout. We still have... Nope, there's no traffic lights here, so why are you waiting? You want to use this road there. And then we got this whole thing there. For that, I'm probably going with a one-way once more, leading to this area, leading to this main road. I'm also going to make this one here a one-way. So that one here that is serving the recycling ones. So there's a lot of truck traffic going in and out. We don't need that, right? And with that, we can get rid of this junction here almost completely, because there is now 2 streets going out from this highway or from this avenue there, leading to fewer traffic lights. So that should be working out. Do we still have traffic lights here? No, we don't. That's fine. And then there's this junction, and I gotta say this is causing me a bit of a headache here, because we just have, it's just a big road overall, right? It's around the garden area that we have, and the traffic's only going to intensify in this area. We have the connection up there, so we do have at the moment this low traffic alley, I should say. So we're going to make this one into a high density avenue now. All right, so just going all the way there, and then also down here to the main road here, right? So this is kind of like becoming a main road there, and I think we will have to do the same thing here, just for the sake of traffic. I might have to use an avenue going all the way then up to this one. I mean, we already have a junction that I probably don't want to have there. Okay, another part is the problem. This area, this junction there, is a problem because all of the traffic here is moving then into this tiny street, up into this tiny street, and up into this tiny street there. So this is leading to a massive traffic problem that we have right now from incoming traffic. So I'm going to break this one up by making this one actually a one-way street, right? And a one-way street into the other way. So this one, this way. This way, what should happen is that these cars use that junction now, right? This is good because it kind of like puts this one into a main road now. We're going to add another new main road for this area. We could also make this one a one-way leading up to this avenue and then breaking up. So this is kind of like a big roundabout then at some point, I think around the gardens that we use that. Now, another road that I need to upgrade is this one here that is moving beside the university, unfortunately. So there's a lot of traffic that still needs to get to this side here from that part of the city, of course. And we don't have anything other than this big this big round that we have up there. But that's too far for most people, so they don't take that route. They rather are stuck in the traffic in this side here as well, and especially here, right? So I'm going to make this one here a major road as well. Not a big one. We're going to, of course, delete some buildings along the way here, but it's absolutely necessary that we do that. So let's just go ahead and have this one going all the way here, right? So this is now moving through the city. And of course, the cool thing is, oops, we did not really make a park out of it, I think, with entrances. So this area is still fine, right? There is still this smaller entrance here, but we can just really move this one out there a bit. And that's already it. A few bushes, right? And this area is fine. Then we got the cemetery here that is over clipping a bit, that we might need to move like so, if possible. Or I'm just going to keep it like that. Oh, this is actually possible. We keep it like that. A bit further over, perhaps. Like so. Or we are going to move. I'm actually going to move the cemetery to a complete new location, I think. It's not fitting in here. We could have it in this area, right? This is looking better, having it here. So up here we have it now, just by the school. That's a good location for it for now. And down in this area, that's a bit of an open space now. I'm going to keep this one open for now because I'm not entirely sure what I'm placing in there. Probably a big landmark building or something like that. Boy, we really have lots of crime over there happening. That's because of the traffic problems. But as we can see, the flow is already increasing on that side, right? So I'm just going to work on that. And we'll see each other again in the next episode with more fixing, because here we need that highway. Stay tuned.